I think it's reasonable to want to try out the gun we've just bought, don't you?
Oh, dude, he shot you right in the eyeball.
Well, I guess that's why he's get paid the bodyguard bucks. I like how Mr. Silverman hasn't budged an inch. It's like, yep, kind of saw that coming.
Fucking Tuesdays. Okay, that is fucking ridiculous. You can't even fit your finger in there. Why do you need...
Presumably one trigger is for shooting and the other is for shooting it a bit more.
One trigger gets the bullet half or the plasma ball halfway down the barrel. The second trigger just... You know, it's a safety feature. It's for commitment.
You see this sequence every time you die. We're only going to see it once. I'm going to cut it out in future. But basically, it says because you died, society gradually got worse. It was exactly your fault.
I love how every single piece of British fiction from around the Thatcher era deals with the emergence of fascism.
Well, everyone was living with the Cold War over their heads at the time,
and Thatcher.
A lot of people were brought up thinking they were going to get atomized any day now.
That'd be an interesting way to live.
So we'll just rewind.
That'd be a way bigger dick.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Silverman. I'll go and kill that mosquito now.
Shut up. That's the pool hall. Yes. One fucked up pool table. That's not a pool hall.
I think it's pretty clear at this point that not a lot of pool goes on in this pool hall.
It's the shittiest pool table I've ever seen. I once played pool on the ground.
It's kind of pool hall where you walk in and says, "Hey, who wants to play a game?" And then everyone just turns to look at you with that really slow, grim expression on their face.
There was a Retrovision in Fortitude Valley that I swear was a front for something. It was pitch black dark. Like, okay, imagine walking into a high-end electronics white goods store that's dark. Like, it didn't have enough light bulbs. And every time I walked in there, people looked at me quizzically. Like, they were confused I wasn't a huge guy asking for a kilogram of heroin.
Right.
It was I hated going in there. I used to tell people I was going there just in case I didn't come back.
Okay, this is where the demo started, so rest assured this is where things will get interesting.
Looks like they put effort into it.
This is the hotel where our first target is staying. In the penthouse.
Let me guess, you tell the receptionist your name and what you're here to do.
Well, we give her our cash card eventually, so yeah, basically. We're being traced every step of the way.
You wave at the security camera. Would you like my collection of thumbprints?
I'd like a room for tonight, please. Just for one night at this hotel where this rich rock star is staying.
Hi, I'd like to learn to take off and fly a plane. Don't need to worry about the landing.
I think the receptionist is in on it because she just flat out gives you a suite directly below David Crane. You didn't even ask for it. She just assumed you'd want that. I presume you'll be here for murder, sir, judging by your huge coat and sunglasses.
And the gun bulge. Is that the new plasma model?
Yeah. And once again, this is probably the most frequently executed puzzle at this point.
I find it peculiar that reading the newspaper is the use.
What?
Like, the use icon is him reading a newspaper.
Well, what else would you use?
I don't know, but...
What else can instantly, iconically depict someone manipulating an object in their hands?
Well, okay, if you took the word use away from that, it'd just be a confusing... Like, think about it. If you took use away, it's just him looking at a newspaper. I'd assume that's look.
Well, it's a good thing they did put use there, isn't it?
Well, then you don't need the dude looking at a newspaper.
This is a very secure hotel because you have to insert your room key before the lift will take you to your floor. So how do you think we'll get to the floor where David Crane is?
Climb out a window?
Close. Climbing is certainly involved. Since it's... Well,
fire escape?
Nope. We actually... I'll give you the hint that we never actually need to go into our hotel room. In this game. I'm just doing it to show you what it's like. It's quite nice, actually.
This is, again, it's one of those things where why go to the trouble of doing, because that's a unique room-ish.
Yeah. But that said, a lot of these rooms were probably just created by copy-pasting stuff from previous rooms.
Yeah. Well, it is essentially a palette swap, but still.
A bunch of wall, some carpet, some furniture. And this is a really low-resolution game, so it's not so surprising that only one artist worked on it. Do they still have Gideon's Bibles in hotels? I'm pretty sure they stopped doing that.
All I can think of is that Bill Hicks thing about wanting to capture a Gideon.
Ah, a piece of food. We know what to do with that. Take it with us.
Hoard it like a fucking lunatic squirrel.
Now, I did consider stealing the towels, but I figured this hotel was going to have bigger problems by the end of the night.
Yeah, it's going to have a reputation.
This place does have a bathroom cabinet with, Have you got any problems with the open icon, by the way?
Well, no. I mean, it looks like he's about to offer me a slice of pizza, but that's about it. It still it communicates open rather well.
I suppose. This is what I think of organised religion. Oh, yeah, sticking it to the man.
Take that, Catholics.
I bet that'll be in the newspaper.
Global pedophile ring.
The unknown killer also placed a Bible in a bin before he enacted his crime.
It's the downfall of society, Yahtzee.
Now then. Now, luckily at this hotel for murderers, there's a convenient box here with a unlocked with a fucking great big axe in it.
Okay, why do you need axes for chopping through wood, not your metal future doors?
Well, they're pretty good for chopping through flesh too.
Tell me that's how you actually kill him. Like, I don't know, just butcher someone with an axe. You don't even need the gun. The gun's useless.
Well, you don't butcher Crane with an axe. I'll give that away.
Oh, sweet. I'm looking forward to it.
Now, I'm pretty sure that knife that we picked up from our apartment is the only thing we can solve this puzzle with.
Oh, for God's fucking sake.
Well, it does say there's you need a thin blade. If you try using the screwdriver, it will say you need a thin bladey thing.
See, it's exactly that kind of thing that drives me, batshit crazy.
So we're cutting the wire to stop the elevator being called from any other floor, because apparently that's how it works. It's not like the control buttons on any other floor function completely separately from the control box within the elevator.
The elevator itself is a sentient AI.
So now we're on top of the elevator and we're faced with a couple of lift doors.
Is there a way of getting on top of the elevator without disabling it, or does he say, I don't want to go up there?
It just says you don't want to go up if it could possibly move. Now, I'm pretty sure with most lift doors you can pull them apart with your hands, right?
I don't know.
Well, they always do that in films. Apparently we need an axe for it. And just to illustrate how awful Ryan is at serial killing, 2 security guards right in his path. He didn't think this one through. That's what's going through his head. Fortunately, we're already carrying a murder weapon.
The fuck is he, the Matrix? He just dodged a bullet.
Well, apparently it was kind of a slow-moving bullet.
Yeah, that's true. That was slower than, stormtrooper bullets.
Go without saying that if you try to kill the other guy first with the gun, then he shoots you first. But either he had to reload or his gun jammed, so we were able to get a shot off. And we're officially a murderer! Yay!
So none of those are Crane.
No, that's Crane's security. And the reason why I was picking all that food up, by the way, is because from henceforth we will be known as the Food Killer. I'm going to drop one at every one of my crime scenes. Oh, by the way, controversy! This was the scene that made the game so controversial.
Oh, that's what's going on.
Because look, a cock. 4 glorious pixels of cock. An entire Tetris piece of cock. Now, this is where the theory...
4 glorious pixels of cock is my eHarmony name.
This is one of the points where the theory that Ryan's just a nut job takes a hit, because Crane seems to know about us. Because he's one of the conspirators trying to stop the Dreamweb.
No, please spare me, I didn't finish.
The conspirators are aware of the facts that you're around. I know what I have to do. I have to stand here like a fucking lemon until the arbitrary time limit runs out, and we get fucking machine gunned down by a soldier who happened to be there.
How'd he get up if he disabled the fucking...
Maybe he was underwater in the pool while we were doing that. So we'll dispense with pleasantries this time. Excuse me, miss. And we'll just go straight for the garden.
Sorry to interrupt your boning.
Good aim there. And now we must undergo the quickening. That's literally what it is. Look at how he poses when this happens.
Princes of the universe.
There can be only one. Path.
Well, that hooker's got a story to tell.
Yeah, one would think a smart killer would have sorted that out. I know. We'll see how that comes back to haunt us later. I don't know what happened.
Neil Gaiman busted and killed him, and then there was the quickening, and... Miss, are you sure you didn't just take fucking MDMA and watch a bunch of movies from the 80s?
So now we've teleported to the Dreamweb, which is totally a real place. And the Keeper is going to... rationalize every thought we've been having and tell us who our next target is.
And a path has been chosen.
Yeah.
The power released from the human grain has entered the dream.
That's not his voice. Actually, after the 1992 release, in 1994 there was a CD release that did have voice acting.
Holy shit stacks, it's got a re-release.
We're not playing that version because we're jabbering all over it. But if I recall, the voice for the hooded guy
nodule
was just a normal guy, but they lowered the pitch on the voice.
That's masterpiece.
Yeah, so he sounded like a monster or something. After every killing, we have to go to this place. We have to find which specific stone door we have to put our hands on that the power of the person we just murdered and absorbed goes into it.
That's exactly like the dreams that tell me to kill.
Mine aren't like that at all.
I dream about zombies mostly. Lots and lots of zombies.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Here's what the key that we picked up from inside the microwave in Eden's place is for.
Of course.
Yes, we picked up a mystical key from Eden's microwave. Did I not mention that?
No.
Well, if we tried to leave Eden's place without it, there would have been a bit of text saying,
I forgot something. My magic key.
But I think, even though it says I forgot something, you can go anyway. And I'm not sure what you're supposed to do when you get to this point. Now we're gonna...
This wouldn't strike me, it wouldn't surprise me if this is one of the games that just has game breakers in it. Lets you get, so far through, but then breaks it.
Now we're going to wake up next to a dumpster in an alley. It's almost like we stumbled in here and slumped to the ground.
I've been there, man.
So, yes.
See, the trick is to get yourself a little bit under the lip of the dumpster. That way it protects you from the rain.
Or just get in the dumpster.
Nah, there's usually shit in there.
Well, if films have taught me anything, it'll only be full of cardboard boxes and shredded paper.
Shredded paper, yeah. I've always wondered where those dumpsters live, because that's not been in the dumpsters I've looked in.
Probably next to an office or something.
Now, see, recycling is sort of taking care of all that. It goes into special bins and gets created.
All right, don't be a pedant. Now, we've gone back to our place to research our next hit. The keeper of the Dreamweb mentioned it's a General Sterling.
Do you have any information, O Keeper? I don't know. Google it.
Pretty much.
Okay,
yeah.
Really? Yeah. Google. Just fucking do it. You have a huge information network. Go do it. I got other shit to do. I got a Dreamweb to look after.
Well,
dickhead.
That's what you do these days. Just Google it.
That's probably legitimately what I do.
Now, in this version, you don't actually have to type the passwords for the logons because this is the cracked version that assumes you don't have the manual.
Yeah. No, I just happen to have manuals for obscure 90s adventure games laying around.
I'm just reminding myself of Eden's door number because we do need to go back there at some point.
Maybe I should pay him a visit.
We already done that.
And steal his shirt.
Should have flagged that stupid game programming.
Yeah, steal his shirt and laugh at him for still being on the toilet.
Now, here's what, to my mind, the best part of the game. We get to read up on the reports of our crimes.
That is the best part of crimes.
I know, right? The ego trip. Now,
lone gunman who handsomely broke through security.
Presumably because we forgot to kill that prostitute, they now have an extremely accurate description of us.
Axed one bodyguard in the neck. I do like axe as a verb.
Ryan's a really small dude. He's described as being 5'10" and with a slim build. And you can see from the top-down view he's a lot smaller than most of the people he interacts with.
It's Neil Gaiman. It's Neil Gaiman.
I've never met him in real life. Is he a small man?
I presume so.
Oh, conveniently, General Sterling, as he mentioned on the news.
Ooh.
He's doing an interview on Channel 6, so we can just go down there and kill his ass. Interestingly, that description of us described us as clean-shaven. Now, I don't know about you, I mean, not clean-shaven, but unshaven. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm looking pretty shaven to me.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know, maybe stubble was just like beyond the graphics capabilities of the time.
Maybe he's just one of those people who just can't grow stubble very well. It's just really, really fine and spread out.
Yeah, I have a friend like that. It's adorable.
Or like what we all used to have as teenagers before it actually became manly stubble. What we used to call bum fluff.
There was a guy in my high school who had like a full face covering of bum fluff. He was like a kitten. It was fucking priceless.
In my school, they were just
didn't shave it.
Had face coverings of acne. Now look at Ryan being our master serial killer again.
Okay, so you're at Channel 6 now.
Yeah, it's surrounded by military security because the general's in there. So we're just going to walk straight up to this soldier and give him the cover story we've been working on for hours.
Can I go inside? I have an appointment.
Nice one, Ryan. Keep on keeping on.
But I have an important appointment.
Oh, never change, Ryan.
I'm a brilliant storyteller.
All the security forces in these games are pretty fucking oblivious to the news.
Wait, don't you exactly fit the description of the person that killed David Crane earlier this evening?
No.
No, I just have to get in here.
You must be
a lot.
You must be thinking of my twin brother, not me.
Yeah.
That's his name.
Not me.
His name's not me. It's Johnson.
Not me, Williamsburg the Fourth.
Well, didn't have much luck at the front entrance. Let's go around the back.
Sure.
Now we'll be seeing.
That guy looks like a thalidomide baby. Look at his arms.
Pretty old for a thalidomide baby.
Well, I don't know. Maybe that's a side effect of the thalidomide. Like, you get no arms, but you get like a ridiculously long lifespan.
But then it is the future, isn't it? He's an older thalidomide baby.
Well, maybe it's a new kind of thing.
Well, the appointment line didn't work at the front door. But,
Try it again.
Try again. Got to keep your story consistent, because otherwise they'll know you're lying.
That is true, yeah. See, that's the thing about a web of lies. It's a lot easier when it's just one big, obvious strand.
Yeah, that's why in interrogation they'll keep, like, asking the same questions over and over again, because if you're lying, the details will tend to change.
Which is why when you have to lie to authority figures, lie to yourself first.
Now, I get the feeling Dreamweb's kind of lost interest in having puzzles at this point, because all that business in the hotel...
Shoot your way through your problems?
Yes, we just shot the security guard in the face.
And is he like an evil security guard? Like, is he part of, like, the conspiracy?
No, he's a nice, friendly security guard who was being like a bastion of civility to us, and now we've shot him in the face because they couldn't come up with any better puzzles. The hotel section from the demo is pretty much the best puzzles in the game.
Yeah, it's not like he said, I could really go a floor burger or something like that.
I think this is like about as sophisticated as it gets from now on.
Part of me has always wanted that to happen, where it's like, I have a gun, why do I need a key? Or I have a gun, why do I need to give this guy a thing if I'm going to shoot him?
Well, I'll say that for this game, yes. It's much more as the crow flies approach to puzzle solving, isn't it?
And much like everything else, it's surprisingly unsatisfying when you finally see it happen. What'd you just do? Well, shot an innocent old security guard.
Oh, I wouldn't say it was unsatisfying.
Killing things in point and clicks is not as satisfying.
We nicked a card there to get inside this janitorial closet because we need a fuse from this fuse box.
Of course.
We just know. We're going to need it.
The Dreamweb told me I need fuses. I have to collect all the fuses.
And also
they're stealing my essence.
Yes. My bodily fluids.
The police kick his door down like 5 days later to find like just a fridge full of fuses filled with semen.
The interior of Channel 6 Studios is surprisingly unsecure for being been so tight around the outside.
Well, they have that impenetrable wall of boomgate and 60-year-old unarmed man behind not bulletproof or plasma-proof glass.
Yeah, maybe...
Why would you need security inside after that?
Maybe everyone's so excited about the interview, all the staff are, like, packed into the studio to watch it.
And it's possibly a thing, like, in the dim, distant future, everyone loves, like, military information.
Now, in Ryan's defense, this guy is asking for it. He's sitting directly underneath a crate.
What's in the crate? Like, heavy?
We do actually find out later what's in the crate.
Yeah.
But it is assuredly heavy, yes. And, of course, the winch controller's blown a fuse. Mind-melting puzzle there. Fuse. And before we do the killing, I suddenly realised...
You have to leave a bit of food.
Yeah, we have to decide what we're leaving. So I'm going to drop some cheese, because we consider the General's policies to be cheesy.
Military, cheese, do I have to draw you a diagram?
I'm going with that.
Not big on intelligent political satire, are you, people?
I think even Ryan is surprised that worked. If you look at his animation, he just pressed a button and then released it. It was pretty much already set up to do that.
That's a Looney Tunes thing.
It seems to be a recurring thing in this game that Ryan is basically quite a bumbler as far as serial killers go.
Yeah. Hi, I stumbled dick first into success.
Sorry. Now,
that box was filled with Acme.
You may not have picked up on it because all the details are so fucking tiny, but every time we get teleported away, the little blue spark that remains interferes with nearby electronics, which I think is a nice little touch. In that case, it made the crane move.
If only they put that much effort into anything else.
Well, yes. Well, be fair, it was only 3 guys. They had drinks to drink.
Are we making a game? Fuck it.
I kind of
I spent 8 hours doing every...
Kind of blew my load after I drew that naked prostitute diving under a bed.
I now don't care about this game at all.
Our next target is another wealthy and important person.
I'm so jealous of those people.
This is a classic paranoid fantasy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That all the rich, important, wealthy and powerful people are conspiring to do something awful that will affect all the normal people.
I would love to be that kind of, sort of investment banker, what's his name? Warren Buffett rich. And I would legitimately pick, one person per city to have a conspiracy around. Like, I would do this. There'd be secret cameras filming the whole thing, and then I'd just sit by myself in this enormous fucking room and watch and chuckle and never show anybody else.
So just every now and again in a televised interview, just look at the camera and say, Neville, the voices are right.
No, it'd be Neville's the world over. I would find one in each city and torment them.
Because everyone called Neville is going to be along those lines.
Yeah, it's paranoid and has been picked on, and I'm just going to drive it to its logical conclusion.
Now, at the advice of the Keeper of the Dreamweb, we picked up a crystal on our way out, and that crystal represents another thing that interferes with the theory of Ryan being a nutjob, as we will find later when we use it.
So the core mystery is all this really happening, or is he just gone buttfuck nuts?
Yes.
I'd say the teleporting out of areas, I mean, I know they kind of... Because you can't just kill someone in a... You can't kill a general or whatever.
And we wake up outside the bar where we used to work. It's almost as if we stumbled to a neighbourhood we're familiar with on this occasion.
I've been there.
But yes, you were saying...
I've woken up in bars I've worked at.
You were saying, yes, the iffy aspects of the Ryan is insane theory is how the hell he gets away from the crime scenes.
Yeah, like...
Because in the hotel, maybe he went down a fire escape, but in that case, there was military security surrounding the place. It's possible he just got away in the confusion.
Yeah. Hey, you, where are you going? Oh, it's okay, I had an appointment. Oh, it's okay, I had an appointment.
I mean, there was only one security guard.
Yeah.
One soldier out.
One soldier. And he was nervous, too. It's like, hello, I'm the general. I want the most nervous green security you've got. Someone who doesn't even know how to fire a gun yet. I want him looking after me.
Well, got to give him a chance at some point.
Yeah, it'll be good for him.
We're going back to Eden's apartment because the person we have to kill, Sartain, is established to be a client of Eden's. Eden works for a marketing firm.
Oh, right. I assume that was covered in flavor text I didn't bother reading earlier.
Yes, it was. Well, I don't think they mentioned that Eden's a client, but if you go through Eden's... I think the Keeper of the Dreamweb says you will find them through someone close to you.
Well, it's not Lewis, because I already stole his toilet shoes, so
I'm pretty sure he doesn't hang around at the same clubs.
Lewis, you still shitting? Yes! Call an ambulance!
I was a little confused by this personal organizer for a while, but we just have to cycle through the names until we reach...
Sartain.
Yes.
That's not anything anyone would ever call anybody.
Well, now we are Sartain of Sartain's address.
Oh, you dick.
We're gonna go get him. Oh, and by the way, a tit. I think it's reasonable to want to try out the gun we've just bought, don't you?
Oh, dude, he shot you right in the eyeball.
Well, I guess that's why he's get paid the bodyguard bucks. I like how Mr. Silverman hasn't budged an inch. Like, yep, kind of saw that coming.
Fucking Tuesdays. Okay, that is fucking ridiculous. You can't even fit your finger in there. Why do you need...
Presumably one trigger is for shooting and the other is for shooting it a bit more.
One trigger gets the bullet half or the plasma ball halfway down the barrel. The second trigger just... You know, it's a safety feature. It's for commitment.
You see this sequence every time you die. We're only going to see it once.
And the gun bulge. Is that the new plasma model?
Yeah. And once again, this is probably the most frequently executed puzzle at this point.
I find it peculiar that reading the newspaper is the use.
What?
Like, the use icon is him reading a newspaper.
Well, what else would you use?
I don't know, but...
What else can instantly, iconically depict someone manipulating an object in their hands?
Well, okay, if you took the word use away from that, it'd just be a confusing... Like, think about it. If you took use away, it's just him looking at a newspaper. I'd assume that's look.
Well, it's a good thing they did put use there, isn't it?
Well, then you don't...
Tell where our first target is staying. In the penthouse.
Let me guess, you tell the receptionist your name and what you're here to do.
Well, we give her our cash card eventually, so yeah, basically... We're being traced every step of the way.
You wave at the security camera. Would you like my collection of thumbprints?
I'd like a room for tonight, please. Just for one night at this hotel where this rich rock star is staying.
Hi, I'd like to learn to take off and fly a plane. Don't need to worry about the landing.
I think the receptionist is in on it because she just flat out gives you a suite directly below David Crane. You didn't even ask for it. She just assumed you'd want that. I presume you'll be here for murder, sir, judging by your huge coat and sunglasses.
It's the shittiest pool table I've ever seen. I once played pool on the ground.
It's kind of pool hall where you walk in and says, "Hey, who wants to play a game?" And then everyone just turns to look at you with that really slow, grim expression on their face.
There was a retrovision in Fortitude Valley that I swear was a front for something. It was pitch black dark. Like, okay, imagine walking into a high-end electronics white goods store that's dark. Like, it didn't have enough light bulbs. And every time I walked in there, people looked at me quizzically. Like, they were confused I wasn't a huge guy asking for a kilogram of heroin.
Right. Right.
It was. I hated going in there. I used to tell people I was going there just in case I didn't come back.
Okay, this is where the demo started, so rest assured this is where things will get interesting.
Looks like they put effort into it.
This is the host going to cut it out in future, but basically it says...
Big money won.
Because you died, society gradually got worse. It was exactly your fault.
I love how every single piece of British fiction from around the Thatcher era deals with the emergence of fascism.
Well, everyone was living with the Cold War over their heads at the time.
And Thatcher.
A lot of people were brought up thinking they were going to get atomized any day now.
That'd be an interesting way to live.
So we'll just rewind that.
That'd be a way bigger dick.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Silverman. I'll go and kill that mosquito now.
Shut up. That's the pool hall? Yes. One fucked up pool table? That's not a pool hall.
I think it's pretty clear at this point that not a lot of pool goes on in this pool hall.